Ah, ah. Cara, finalmente lançou o Biomutant. Eu tava muito afim de jogar esse jogo. Ele tem o quê? Sei lá, uns 3 anos já que fizeram a propaganda e a gente tá esperando alguma coisa, tá ligado? Claro que a esse ponto já tem um bando de vídeo no YouTube, né? Um bando de gente que pegou antecipado e tal. Mas, eu tinha que trazer, cara. Porque eu realmente tô muito afim de jogar. Português do Brasil. Olha que belezinha.
How can something as beautiful as this be dying? A plague is ruining the land, but the tree of life still stands. Question is, for how long? End is coming to the new world. The tribes stand divided, in need of someone strong enough to unite them, or bring them all down. This is a story with an unusual beginning. So, let's expect an welcome to Biomutant.
Novo. Médio.
Encode your DNA.
Galera, esse é mais ou menos o básico. Isso aqui são tipo raças. Cada raça tem uma pretensão melhor a certa coisa. O Rex ele é como se fosse o
Define your genetic
equilibrado.
structure.
Então eu vou de Rex mesmo. Eu quero uma coisa meio aqui assim, meio agilidade e inteligência. Não precisa ser tanto também, né? Pra dar uma equilibrada. Ah, assim tá bom.
Choose a genetic resilience.
Eu sou fã de gelo, então eu diria que eu gostaria de ser mais resistente a gelo, mas não vou botar totalmente, colocar 22 pra cada.
Choose your first style.
Eu não sei qual que lembra a Mara. A Mara é a gatinha. É a minha gatinha com a minha namorada. Tá bom,
Pick your main color.
é mais assim.
Choose your Pick a
É,
class.
isso aí.
Commando. Psy-Freak. Saboteur. Deadeye.
Eu acho que o ideal é focar em arma de distância.
Deadeye. Mercenary.
Eita, esse aqui é maneiro, hein?
Deadeye.
Vamos de pistoleiro mesmo.
Deadeye chosen.
É isso, né?
Sounds good.
Sounds good.
Here's somebody with a troubled
Ah, que
past,
delícia.
drawn into the spotlight of a story that's already begun. We're already at a crossroads. Choosing a path in life is that fork in the road where you make a choice or simply stop living.
Aqui tem como você escolher entre o bem e mal, entendeu? Eu vou pro lado do bem. Porque eu vi quem jogando o
But
PewDiePie
for
e ele foi pro lado do
you, it's
mal.
not only a crossroad, but a choice. A reflection of your...
Let me introduce myself. I'm the light and bright side of you, or your inner voice to be precise. An echo of balance and consequence of your actions as you move.
Seems more like you're being light-headed if you ask me, but you'll come around, eventually.
But what comes around goes all the way back around. So, it's better to stick to your instincts. You can't fight what's in your nature.
In your nature, and here I was hoping we'd be all about natural selection, survival of the strongest and so forth. If that's not instinct, then I don't know what is.
Natural selection is all about evolution and progress. And as soon as there's enough light, darkness will disappear.
Aí ela bate nele também. Porque na época do PewDiePie batia. O preto
Right
batia na
is
branquinha.
always right.
Ah, isso é muito legal, porque tipo assim, quando o PewDiePie foi pelo outro lado, ele falou assim. Lado esquerdo pode ser direito e o lado direito é sempre direito. Do tipo. Qualquer lado pode ser certo, entendeu? Mas aí foi uma piadinha sobre isso, enfim. Eu tô falando.
Stories of death and the bodies left behind. A reminder that we're at the mercy of nature and the one that preys on others.
E aí eu tô morrendo desse vírus que tá assolando o universo. Desculpa, eu não tô morrendo, tô bem, gente.
Do
Mas
you remember the beast that
tô bem, mas tô
shattered your
mal.
family?
Então assim,
Or did you choose to
pode ouvir
forget
umas fungadas,
You
pode ver
turned
eu
your
sofrendo
back
de
on
dor por causa da
our
garganta.
world and got lost in your own? Meanwhile, the predator only grew stronger.
Eu ia até descansar durante esse período, só que, mano, esse jogo saiu, não tem como esperar, tá ligado? Ah, dá licença, moleque. Eita. Legal, cheio de combinhos. Ai. Ai. Vai. Ah, não. Ok. Ah, que nem no bagulho, que legal. Eu não lembrava disso. Eu vi, não tem tanto tempo assim, mas o PewDiePie recebeu bem antecipado.
Better
Então,
make a
tipo,
run for it.
tem
This is
algum
not the
tempinho.
time nor place to end this story. This time, it was best to run and live to fight another day. Let us hope you're ready for it when it comes.
Beleza. Eita. Eu não sei se tem algum item aqui no começo, até porque a gente tá meio que no tutorial ainda. Mas esse jogo, ele é bem, tipo, exploração, pegar item e tal. Então sempre fiquem atentos pra isso. Ai, Minha garganta tá doendo bastante.
The predator isn't the only threat. The wildlife started to mutate when the end of days began, and the tree of life started to die.
Ah, eu apertei pra esquivar, mano. Ok. Easy. Como é que eu faço pra pegar as coisas nos bichos? Tá, esses bichos não droparam nada, né? Porque são os primeiros bichos. Tá bom, tá bom, tá bom. Já entendi. Não, mano, tem que ter algum item aqui. Algum easter egg. Não, eles não fizeram isso? Não, um item especial no início. Apesar de que eu acho que todos os itens são aleatórios, tá, galera? Então, tipo, você não vai achar os mesmos itens que eu nas mesmas caixas. Também tem o Lucky, que é uma das paradas dos seus status. Influencia no loot que você acha. Então, tipo, sempre quando você upar, você deve melhorar o Lucky. Olha aí. Ó, agora a minha arma tem dano de choque. Tem? Isso aí, eu acho que eu botei. Vamos explorar o abrigo. Ó, uma curazinha aqui. Umas bandagens, beleza. Aí, na setinha ali, ó, eu curo pra cima. Mas meu sangue está cheio, então tá tudo bem. Calma aí. Mandou explorar e eu já fui subindo. Então, coisa aqui. Beleza. Viu? Tem que explorar, gente. Senão você deixa coisas pra trás que podem ser importantes depois.
Strung up.
Finalmente chegamos.
The oil sludges everywhere. To most, it only means death. Some have adapted to the new environment and changed with it. Evolution has its ways.
Ai! Ai, mano, não acredito. Tá, morreu. Pro chão, vem. Eita. Morreu. Tu é grande, mas não é dois. Olha aí. Troço pra regenerar a vida, muito obrigado. Você tem loot? Não. Clink. Pra que serve Clink? Não lembro. Mas deve ser pra editar armas e tal. Tem dinheiro também, né? Porque tem lojas. Eita. Eita. Ai.
Good hit.
Ok, ok. Por enquanto tá suave, quando você upa de level, o seu sangue regenera. Então eu não vou usar os itens de cura agora. Eu vou guardar eles pra quando necessário. Não sei se eles são muito necessários durante o jogo, se você precisar fazer um estoque muito grande. Mas é sempre melhor prevenir do que remediar, né? Tá, calma. Vamos dar uma explorada. Uma caixinha, lugar nenhum. Ah, parece que não. Alguns inimigos carregam um grande escudo, você precisa quebrá-lo com um ataque corpo a corpo antes de conseguir causar dano, ok. Eu pensei que eu podia rebater isso, mas não. Beleza. Isso deve ser pra equilibrar, né? Porque provavelmente é muito mais fácil você dar dano nas pessoas com dano à distância, então eles meio que te obrigam a usar o corpo a corpo também. Claro que vai ter gente que vai adorar o corpo a corpo, né? Corpo a corpo é bom também. Quero começar a achar item pra fazer arma. O maneiro desse jogo é isso, tipo, vários itens pra fazer arma. Ai, caraca. Toma. Upei. Upei. Aham, aham, aham. Interagir. Bem. Interagir aqui também. Beleza. Vou dar uns clink, clink, clack aí. Clink, clack, plum. Não vou a lugar nenhum. Não é possível que não tenha uma caixinha aqui, mano. Tipo, a missão é pra lá, então a gente veio pra cá. Dá pra abrir aqui não? Não, não dá. Ai. Ah, é. Primeiro tem que vir pra cá e depois a gente vai pra lá. E é bloqueado.
An
Por algum
emergency
motivo.
box from the Wandsworth. A rare sight.
Aí, viu? Sabia, 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 sabia.
That pipe looks weak. The claw bar should come in handy.
Beleza. Nenhuma caixinha por aqui, né? Beleza, vamos lá.
Whoa. It's time to find a way out of this place. No,
Nenhuma
really,
caixinha
I
por
mean
aqui.
it.
Nenhuma caixinha por aqui. Opa. pulo duplo. Eu já sabia disso, mas tudo bem.
The Morks produce biomatter in their multi-organ that they shed under distress. Blobs that affect the cellular coding strands of any living being when absorbed, including you. Shot through. Scrapalicious.
Então, pó de mutação é muito importante. E o melhor jeito de você farmar é realmente você indo no campo de veneno que tem e matar os bichinhos que tem lá, porque aí você ficar dentro da água. Eu peguei as dicas, né, pro jogo. Porque eu vou continuar jogando, eu quero jogar o jogo, tá ligado? Mas, enfim.
Go on.
O que eu tava falando. Se você ficar dentro da água, o troço de veneno zera. Então, você pode ficar lá tranquilo, tá ligado? Você não tem que se preocupar em ficar intoxicado e tal. E aí você pode fazer isso e ficar farmando as suas paradinhas. Suas gemas. Os seus pontos de mutação, sei lá. Tá, eu tô correndo. Tô vindo aqui. Nada. Nada. Ao mesmo tempo que eu tô jogando um pouco mais rushado pra vocês, eu tô andando meio rápido, eu tô olhando porque eu vou continuar o jogo depois, tá ligado? Então, assim, eu tô jogando pra mostrar pra vocês, mas eu realmente gosto do jogo e eu quero jogar.
Toxanol built vessels called arks to save themselves from the impending doom. But was it too late? It is only from the flight logs of the single ark they left behind that we know other arks traveled through the sky and beyond. It seems those that came before us never lost hope in finding a new home for their kind.
Calma aí. Não, pra cá. Eu quero ir pro outro. Ah, tá. Pra cá. Esse
Just
pra
a
cá.
few moves left. Make them count.
Então é horário entre horário. Eu devia ter pensado nisso, eu sou muito burro.
There are few records of the chain of events that led to the big apocalypse eons ago, but it's clear the world wasn't prepared for how
Vocês entenderam que é
recklessly
aquela
the
conectar os
Toxanol
pontinhos branco com
Corporation
amarelo.
would make its mark
Não tinha
on the
muita
world.
dificuldade
Their
ali.
rare earth mining and nuclear industries generated tons of waste, and without consideration for the future, they dumped it all in landfills until they ran out of space. That's when they made the big mistake. They began dumping the toxic waste in the surf just off the coast instead, assuming that it would sink and decay with time. And they were right. But no one was prepared for what was about to unfold. Once in the surf, the radiation interfered with the genetics of the wildlife and created bizarre mutations in their offspring. It had an inconceivable impact on biodiversity and the entire ecosystem. The world as they knew it crumbled as nature retaliated. It would never be the same again, and what remained of it became ours.
É isso aí, né? A humanidade destruiu o planeta e tem um bando de bicho mutante agora. Muito mistério, não.
Sound of spark metal going pew-pew is never a good thing. It's coming from behind that door. A warning label. The box looks like a potential brain melt. It's going to take a bit of
Vamos lá,
puzzling to
horário, né?
short-circuit the door.
Então, assim. Caraca, meu pé tá muito... como é que eu falo?
Just a few moves left. Make them count.
Tá dormente, porque eu tava com o corpo em cima dele. Tá
There you
formigando.
go.
Vamos lá. LB contra-ataque, movimento exato, atordoar os inimigos. Tá bom.
The wheeled one is outnumbered. You'd better help him out.
Ai.
That's the last of them. Let's talk to the wheeled one before backup arrives.
Beleza. Vamos pegar as coisas que dá pra pegar também, né? Não vamos dar mole. Clink, clunk. Clink.
Small things for your big ideas.
Borrachante. É isso. Os corpos não querem me dar nada. Deixa eu subir de nível. Opa, na hora aqui. Aqui. Vamos subir sorte, porque...
Looks good.
Que a gente quer loot bom. Opa. Parece legal. Mas a gente precisa usar os pontos agora também, né? Ele pode segurar. Deixa pra lá. Isso aqui a gente segura. Ponto. Não vai me deixar? Eu tenho que botar. Acho que eu vou botar... Desarmado. Eu nunca vou estar desarmado, então vamos botar esse aqui. Me forçou a botar alguma coisa, né? Tá bom. Ponto de mutação. Aura. Aqui, ó. Biogenética. Tem um vômito. A mariposa é legal. Vou colocar essa mariposa por enquanto. Tá bom. Então agora, quando eu aperto LT, posso... Pum! A mariposa venenosa em cima da galera.
He wants to thank you for taking his side against the scavengers. He sounds familiar. You just can't figure out why. He presents himself as out of date. He knows he's way overdue, but he hasn't given up. He doesn't seem surprised that you don't recognize him. You were just a child back then, the night everything changed. There have been rumors of a one-eyed Ronin seen outside the Great Wall, and he's happy to see it's true. The legend of the one-eyed child that grew up as an outcast is old and sad. The child could have been anyone, but the evil it had fled had left a mark, a facial scar to remember the past. It's a scar you're covering under that eye patch, isn't it? But he would have recognized you anyways. You look exactly like your Muma. There's no doubt you're the child, and that what Looper Lupin did to your village, your Muma and Popsy, was the beginning of the end. He says it has taken you a long time to bring the past back up to the present, to find your way back, but he's grateful you have. It was after the attack that the unity fell apart. Your Muma's disciples divided and formed tribes as a reaction to the blight that had fallen upon. After the old village was destroyed and you disappeared, a struggle between the families erupted, and over time, the disciples turned against each other. Had it not been for the Tree of Life, no one would have survived. He hopes you at least remember the tree.
Olha aí o pequititinho.
Asks if you were tired, as it's a bit of a hike here from the village. He wonders if your Muma knows you are here. You're such a good child, so you probably did. Even the young forget. He understands why you came all the way out here, to see them, the potato people. The potato people, or Nono, are a wonder, somehow interlinked with this little tree here, fueling its source of life.
Não, batatudo é muito mais
You
legal.
might be right. Like potatoes, they're packed with energy, an excellent source of ki. The Nono prefer to hide in glitter grass. He says you should get over there and ruffle it. See if you can make one come out of hiding.
Vambora.
You found one. You should be proud. They don't come out for everyone. The Nono's ki energy is just what the Pensai needs to complete its cycle and grow into a tree of life. The small tree you saw up there where you met will eventually grow into a tree of life and start giving back to nature. It'll be the heart of the land. You'll need to support the tree for a long time to come. The only way it'll grow tall is with the burst of ki released from the nono as they become one with the tree.
Ou seja, usar os nono de adubo, né?
You'll need a net to catch the nono, and he wants you to use his, but asks you to be gentle. The nono are sensitive beings, an embodiment of ki, the primal energy.
Nossa.
You
Demorei
handle
bastante.
that net like you've never done anything else. He's impressed.
Mentira! Assim que as crianças ficam mimadas e achando que estão
He's
sempre certas, tá
grateful
vendo?
for all the help he can get. There's lots of nono out there that need to be guided to the roots of the pensai tree. They're hiding in the glitter grass that mostly grows deep inside damp caves.
Tá bom.
One day, he hopes the tree will have grown tall enough.
Tá bom.
But today, your focus is getting...
Gente, o bagulho é poderoso mesmo.
Now that you've seen the nono's connection with the tree with your own eyes, from this day on, he'll make nurturing the pensai into a... One day, the land won't be as peaceful. Not even your Muma will be able to protect us. You can already see the effects from how reckless those before us acted, and unless something changes, we're doomed. The land...
Tá bom.
He says you'd better hurry back to the village before your Muma comes looking for you. You did good. No, she's got lots on her mind and needs rest after the raid last night on the Lupin camp with her disciples. Wonders if they let the Predator family live or not. He lost you there for a while, but no memory is alone. It's part of a trail you can follow. He says he remembers every single day he devoted to growing the Tree of Life, but now he's afraid it might be in vain.
Wherefore,
The tree started to die when the end of days begun, and it was... Records tell of the ruinous devastation the Toxanol Corporation inflicted on them. His friend Gizmo is working on a Mekton and needs help defeating the Jumbo Puff at the end of the West Route. Wiz is still repairing his octopod to confront the Merc Puff that dwells deep down under the surface at the end of the Northwest Route. Noko has tamed the Majut and is preparing to take on the Hoof Puff at the end of the East Route. Finally, Goop is almost done with the Goo Glide, a machine able to ride the waves of the surf all the way out to the Porky Puff at the end of the route to the southeast. Out of Date says his friends are gearing up to stop the World Eaters. There's one at the... The road ahead won't be easy, but he's counting on your support. His friends aren't strong enough to end this on their own. He wants you to understand that you'll all die if the tree isn't saved. He claims names have power, so he gave them these names to weaken them. For him, the porky puff is particularly personal. It was that carnivorous beast that took his leg. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
Ok. Muito obrigado. É isso aí. Tem nada aqui.
You're getting the hang of it. Quickest way out is through the roof where they came in, and the rope looks strong enough to climb.
Tem uma caixinha aqui.
Know that the Tree of Life is dying. Its days are numbered. Without help, it can't endure the environmental change and assault from the World Eaters.
Vão marcar.
A signpost maps it out for the cartographically challenged. Let's see.
Beleza. Eita.
That must be the World Eater that chewed off Out of Date's leg. You'll need a
Torresminho?
hat trick to bring that down. The World Eaters have made their marks on our world over time. That's not the first nor the last village it'll leave in its wake. Look, a survivor. Glad to see someone made it out alive.
Moça, tá bem?
He's heard the stories about the terror inflicted by the World Eaters to other enclaves, but never expected one to come all the way here. He worries there won't be much left to save if this continues, even if the Tree of Life survives the attack. He doesn't know what your connection is to this place, but something tells him you've stayed true to your heart. Anyway, he needs help and says it's by your actions you'll be judged, not by your intentions. He's grateful for that. You still seem to have a spark of light in you.
Ah! That's a spark of light in you!
What's there to like about light? It hurts to look at.
Not as much as it hurts to look at you.
Always making this personal.
And you're always trying to pretend it's not.
Beleza.
There's Out of Date again. He must have missed something important. Out of Date says you will make a better stand against the World Eaters with the support of a tribe, and there are 2 nearby. The Myriad tribe is likely to be a good match as they act on the understanding of the greater good and have a code of honor.
Ah, sei, vambora.
Regardless of who you choose, it won't be easy.
Calma. Esse aqui é o lado bom e o...
The Myriad's conviction to stop the World Eaters began when the Leviathans rose from the depths of the surf. Siding with the Myriad's movement for wholeness in a fragmented world might seem like the logical thing to do, but is it the right thing? One thing's certain, though. Destiny arrives all the same. The Jagni tribe only ever had one conviction, to bring balance to the world by wiping out the weak. They believe a cleansing is necessary to restore the world, and want to let the World Eaters bring down the Tree of Life. But siding with Jagni isn't necessarily a bad thing. Fate will find a way.
Não.
Out of Date says someone needs to break the stalemate and shift the He believes the tribe Sifus, Myriad especially, will listen to you and expects you to pay at least one of them a visit and play your part. Myriad is convinced that defeating the World Eaters is the only... Out of Date will be waiting for you beneath the Tree of Life. Regardless, you'll meet again once you've played your part in the tribe war and the situation with the World Eaters.
É meio chato essa parada deles, tipo assim...
Another fork in the road.
Não, vai pro
It's
lado
either
do
the
bem,
tunnel
tá
or
ligado?
the motor bridge. What'll it be?
É, tem uma parada meio assim, vai pro lado do bem, vai pro lado do bem, decide pro lado do bem. Ei, lado do bem. Então isso desanima a querer ir pro lado do bem. Mas... Ok.
It's unusual that natural tunnels like this still exist. Most of them got flooded.
Caralho, nego level 5 e eu aqui todo humilde. Lobo mal. Lobo mal.
Close encounter.
Upei. Nada pra mim? Não.
This area was beautiful before the tribe war began. Look at it now. It's a war zone.
Pô, continua bem bonito, moço. Gente, vontade de subir nessas árvores e tudo.
That's the Myriad tribe's fortress. Will they be friends or foe? You should head up there. That way you'll know.
Opa, deixa eu dar um mijão aqui.
Let's see. It's a beaten path to that door. If you go there, you'd better make an entrance. Says they're wary of strangers. They're at war. Doesn't know if the Sifu will have time for you, but he'll let you in to find out.
Olha aí. Confio em qualquer um, né? Porque eu sou um ninguém.
The Myriad tribe act on understanding of the greater good and a code of honor. They believe uniting the tribes is the only way to restore the peace. The Sifu is convinced that defeating the World Eaters and saving the Tree of Life is the only way to make the world a better place. He welcomes you to the Myriad Fort and introduces himself as the tribe's Sifu. But he was hoping you'd show up. The news of a vigilante Ronin on crusade crossing the Great Wall through the crack in Bunker 101 has preceded you.
Pra quem não sabe,
You
Sifu...
took out of date side against the scavengers in Bunker
Shifu é tipo
101.
mestre
It seems
de alguma
you've
arte
been
marcial,
helping you
entendeu?
next, and that's
É
something
tipo
you have in
alguém
common.
que ensina os outros artes
He's
marciais e tal.
convinced you've returned for a reason and is glad you chose to come here. There's something about your spirit that sparks memories of you as a kidling. He can still sense you're kind-hearted.
Muito obrigado.
The Sifu says sometimes one memory can make another come to life. He hasn't thought about... Your Muma invented Wung Fu. Originally it consisted of unarmed combat and the 6 weapons: the boomerang, the shuriken, the bow, the staff, the nunchuk, and the hook and chain. The Sifu says it's time to set the past aside, at least for now. Unrest is sweeping the land, and there are rivals in all directions. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. If you believe there's some good in everyone, there's still hope for tomorrow. He was hoping you'd join them. You understand that there's no harm in doing good to others. The Sifu was waiting for something to tip the balance in their favor, and with you by their side, he's confident you can unite the other tribes. The one you... The Jagni tribe may believe that fear and hatred will lead them to domination. A vanquisition of the tribes and destruction of the Tree of Life won't be the restart they want. It's just an end. Their kin have run out of options and found themselves backed into a corner. Even those who desire peace have been forced to prepare for war. You need to take the struggle to the enemy, or the enemy will bring it to you. When survival is threatened, there's no other option left but war. He wants you to focus. These are the new rival outposts your tribe needs to take control of. Tells you not to be afraid. Your fate cannot be taken from you. Claim... He says you'll regret not being on their side. The only way you'll learn their secret... Once you've dealt with the rivals' outposts, you'll challenge their Sifu to unite their tribe with yours and let your kin... Seeing you brings back his memories of the old village. Myriad wants unity between the tribes. Their goal is understanding of the greater good and establishing a code of honor. He remembers your kind and unselfish soul, and can sense you still have it in you, the will to do good. He can't blame you for not remembering, but he can sense the stillness of something lost.
Só acho item de cura. É impressionante. Enfim, galera, eu vou deixar esse jogo por aqui. Espero que vocês tenham curtido. E é isso. A gente se vê na próxima. Valeu, tchau, tchau.